Hi, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Kevin Harlan here, joined by our analysts, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. Plus, reporting from the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. A moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Paul George.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out.
Before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. The Bucks have their transcendent.
Very dangerous indeed. David, thanks. And the Clippers starting five. Wing pairing for him, it's George and Leonard. Maka is out there with Favors, and it's Graham in at the point. And for Milwaukee, in the forward spots, it's Middleton and Giannis. Dante DiVincenzo is out there with Holiday, and it's Lopez in at the center position. Rick, you've always said to have a winning team, you need franchise players. Talk about the specific qualities you look for in those superstars that can catapult a team to greatness.
It's a great question, Kevin. Talent really isn't enough. Whether you lead vocally or by example, the agenda has to be winning, and your best players really define who your team is going to be. So the franchise caliber player is a much-needed asset.
The shot by Holiday, no good. The Bucks won their last contest, that game against the Pistons. Sure. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
This is the case where it's just the pure strength of Paul George, able to fight through contact so well on this shot.
The Clippers shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Giannis outside. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Post game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And I think that accounts for some of the more difficult calls to make. Personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you gotta acknowledge the effort being put in to review it. The double checking, and the game continues on.
On the free throw, no good.
Giannis Antetokounmpo has said he doesn't want people calling him the MVP because he doesn't want to relax. He said he fears failure, so he has got to get better.
And George, here we go. Ibaka, no luck. Poked away. Bucks are gone. 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Antetokounmpo gets to Middleton. Off the wing, Holiday. Giannis outside. 5 on the clock. Milwaukee, open that time even. Well, Greg, there's been some debate. What do you think? Is Giannis the best player right now in the world?
I tell you what, if there's a conversation, he has to be in it. Some people might go with Kawhi, Kevin Durant. He's coming back. LeBron James is there as well. But Giannis is probably the guy to lead that conversation.
Favors with the rebound.
Well, this is the kind of shot we've come to expect him to make. He's got to be upset with that one.
Leonard, no luck. Looking at Los Angeles, they took the win in their last game against the Portland Trail Blazers. Dropping 2 there.
And when it comes off the hands of a shooter like Middleton, there's just something so pretty and fluid about the ball.
Graham surveying the floor. DiVincenzo against George. Misses from short range. Middleton outside. Holiday up top, defended by George. And it's sent back by George. Graham gets to George. Sinks the triple. George has got 6.
Well, the three-point shooting of Paul George is an important attribute. Because he can put it on the deck, he's got to balance it with that kind of look right there.
Graham dishes to a bucket. Back to Graham. And another 3 for the Clippers.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Let's take another look at the staunch defense during that mobile 1 block.
Some intimidation right away. Got to show those shooters you're going to be there all night long.
Outside, out of Kubo. Leonard with the steal. Pass to Graham. First quarter play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Outside for George. 5 to shoot. Leonard the pass to George. In the hoop for his third make from the field. He's 3 for 4 thus far in the contest.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Bucks trail by 7. Antetokounmpo passes to DiVincenzo. And a slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
One of the most athletic players in the league. Giannis makes those alley-oop jams look easy.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Deportes is checked in for the Bucks. Matt Connaughton comes in for Dante DiVincenzo. On the league doors, we're seeing plenty of small ball, but some teams are going big. If you're a coach at this point, which way do you think you'd lean?
Well, Kevin, I think the best coaches maximize the talent at their disposal. And sometimes a coach may believe in, I emphasize the three-point line. I want to eliminate all limiting shooting. I want to get to the restricted area and the free throw line. I mean, to me, I love playing a high-tempo, wide-open floor game. Let's let the players show off all their skill.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. DJ Augustine's checked in for Milwaukee. And here's George for 3. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. So it's Augustine who will bring it up to the Milwaukee Bucks. Trailing by 5. This time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
And their last time against this club, they really fell short at the free throw line.
Boy, it seems like every shot he puts up, it's going in. This guy is hot, hot.
And George, here we go. The shot, no good. The Bucks go the other way with it. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road, but they found ways to get their guys good looks.
Well, they knew exactly how to approach that defense. They shot a fantastic percentage because they got quality looks.
And it's Leonard with the jam.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
Bucks trail by 5. Out to the wing. Here's Connaughton. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one on George. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here this first half.
Well, they've established their presence in the paint tonight also. A lot of their scoring coming from down low so far.
Torrey Craig, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Graham, the pass to a bucket. Can't cash in from close range.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
And a wide open look for Portis. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Clippers leading by 3. In the corner, George with it. Ibaka for 3. A shot goes in. First of the night. He's 1 for 3 to start the game.
Paul George will force you to stay balanced defensively because if you have a miscue, he will find the open guy.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from school coach who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
In Forbes, he's checked in for Antetokounmpo. Rambo, he's checked in for the Clippers. Joe Ingles comes in for George. 1:31 left to play in the first quarter. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Well, almost effortless there from Kawhi Leonard. The reach and leaping ability. Look out.
1:19 left to play in the first quarter. Bucks trail by 8. Now here's Augustine. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Leonard, and then Leonard with the dunk.
Well, making an impact with his defense has been a trademark of Serge's game. Nice job by the big man.
Milwaukee's gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first. Passes it to Deportes. Here he goes. Augustine. An easy 2 points on the layup.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on the silver platter, just served him up.
Here's Graham, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Here is Forbes. Ingles covering. Here's Connaughton. Lays it up and backs it in.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Clearly, wow.
This is his first trip to the line tonight. And that one falls for Graham. Both shots good from the strike.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
Bucks trail by 10. Here's Augustine. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
And guys, what you love about DJ Augustine is the leadership he provides to the young guys. They'll lean on him for advice, for knowledge, for sets. This guy is just a key cop.
Leonard inside. The putback. It's good on the putback. And the Clippers lead by 10.
See, I think you want more of this from Joe Ingles. He has the size and length to keep plays alive.
Bounce pass from Augustine.
I'll tell you, sometimes it's easier to hit the target with a bounce pass. That's perfectly done.
And so it's Los Angeles holding on to an 8-point lead and into the... This is what Giannis Antetokounmpo recently told us when he was asked about his goals this past offseason.
Personally, I just want to get better. I want the team to get better. I want me to get better.
And for Giannis, Greg, the consistency from range has been a focal point.
The more accurate he is from outside, the wider the driving lanes become, making him nearly impossible to stop.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers, guys.
Just stretching out the floor that first, they had the defense scrambling.
And that was obviously the plan coming in. Now the big question, can they maintain that efficiency from range as the game goes along?
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for the Clippers right now, Lockett is out there, Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Devontae Green. And there's Bismack Biyombo. And it's Ingles in the 2 spot. Milwaukee making a switch. Antetokounmpo's checked in. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Tyler Zeller's checked in for Biyombo. Ingles can't get it to go. And it's Antetokounmpo with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. 11-point game. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand. Here's Leonard. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
When Kawhi Leonard is healthy, he can dominate both ends of the floor. Nice job to finish it there.
Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. Middleton drives in, and the reach. And he's able to get it back. Here's Graham. Coming off a solid outing against Portland. Let's go down to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, if you just look for a few minutes of Giannis Antetokounmpo on the court, you know why he's called the Greek Freak. But it's the drive that makes him an MVP. He said, you can try to make it complicated. Life is simple. You know what you want, go get it. Do what it takes every day and don't lie to yourself. Guys, I hope you understand I'm being truthful in all of these reports. Back to you.
Love the intensity. David, thank you. Holiday against Graham. Corner shot. No good on the shot. A bit wide that time.
Well, you simply have to shake that one off, right? You can't let that kind of missed opportunity bother you.
The pass to Zeller. Dangles. Fires the three. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got 5 rebounds tonight. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
A shot by Holiday, no good. Los Angeles leading by 11. Leonard attacking, and it's Leonard with the jam.
As unassuming as he looks sometimes, Kawhi Leonard finishes with authority off the dribble.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, scores from the winning position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
How about we check the numbers for Devontae Graham?
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
He takes it in from down low to the left wing. And Antetokounmpo defending. 6 on the shot clock. Graham takes the favors. And the Clippers miss again. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Devontae Graham. That'll be his second foul of the game. Bucks trail by 11. And it's Middleton penetrating. Middleton is doubled. And the wide open shot from DiVincenzo. And with that one, the lead is trimmed to single digits.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Graham finds Taylor. Just a minute. And there's the drive. Goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Whoa, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Middleton against Miller. Shots good by Middleton.
And with great positional size, Milton knows how to do damage down low.
Graham with the ball. He has 7. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That one is on Holiday.
The defender all places.
Tonight he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. Hey, Greg, if you could coach one team right now, who would it be?
That's a tough one. Clippers, Lakers, Bucks. You know what? I would probably go Lakers or Bucks, but you would have an opportunity to coach someone who arguably might be considered the best to ever play the game. Because I think Giannis is trending in that direction, and LeBron obviously already is.
How about a guy like Kemba Walker and coaching the Celtics, having him to do what you want to do on the floor?
He'd be brilliant, and Kemba was one of the most underrated leaders in our game. Great human being. And you're asking for more trouble than you can handle if you're going to let him just roam free from the army.
And that dunk by Giannis.
body control for a guy that's Giannis's height. It's really impressive.
Driving to the basket. Up top, Favors. Lopez covering. Shot clock at 6. Reddick inside the line. Rebounded by the Bucks.
And this is a shot he could definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
Holiday, the pass to Middleton.
And it gives us a chance here to check out some stats on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. First in rebounding, 7th in scoring, and he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. And Middleton kicks to Lopez. Back to Middleton. And stolen by Graham. Holiday against Kennard. He feeds it to Graham. Got a piece of it. Here's Kennedy. Los Angeles with another miss.
Well, he's got a quick pace throw. That one almost dropped.
Antetokounmpo, no good.
Well, you can see why the defense dared him to shoot it. That's not really his spot.
In the corner, Kennard with it. Connects from three-point range. Kennard's got his first bucket in the game, and he's on the board for 3. Bucks trail by 12. Shoots a fader. Shot's good by Middleton.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
And it passes again. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo.
And a lot of attention on Antetokounmpo's offense, but don't sleep on the deep. He can defend every part of the court and does it with intensity. Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
The very definition of quality transition offense. If it can end at the cup, it's exactly where you want it.
And it's Johnson with the rebound. The Bucks have gone ineffective in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
And here's Reddick. They'll bring it up for the Clippers. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Pass to Kennard. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Kennard's got 5 points now in the quarter. Bucks trail to the middle. And there's a shot to finish it off.
And no doubt they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
And that deficit will go away quickly if he does right. And here's Favors. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. There's the triple. Passes to Kennard. And the 5 on the shot clock. The pass to Graham. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. Middleton right side. No good off the back of the rim. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've played the better game so far, but they're working. Thanks so much, David. And we'll step away briefly, but we'll be right back out here for the start.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The story early on was Kawhi Leonard, who was on the line. He ended up with 15 points.
We've got second-hand action for you, and if the next couple of quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
The pair up front is Giannis and Lopez. DiVincenzo on the wing. He's paired with Middleton. And it's Holiday in at the 1 spot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Middleton, the pass to Lopez. 6 to shoot. Over Robinson. It's good, and the Clipper Lewis went down to 4 on the bucket for Lopez.
Don't you love watching Brook Lopez get to that mid-range, stretch the floor with his shooting ability? Really good stuff.
And again, the turnover by the Clippers. His shot was hindered by that momentous mobile one block.
And read the play perfectly. Gets himself in the air at the right moment. Terrific denial.
Here's Holiday. Right now he's averaging 11 points a game. And stolen by Dunn. Biombo kicks to Ingles. Pass to Robinson. And if you're just joining us, we've played over a minute here in the third. Pocket 6. The shot by George. Wide open. No good on the three. Bucks trail by 4. Middleton outside. On the wing, DiVincenzo. To the paint. Lopez inside. Covered by Biombo. Good look there as it goes.
Brook Lopez never stops working, especially inside where he has been a force.
Here's Dunn. Still getting worked up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's George. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
You don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Los Angeles have been perfect so far from the free throw line. 6 for 6.
I don't know if it's underplayed, but there's an all-around aspect to what Paul George does on a night-by-night basis. This guy is an elite two-way player.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Portis, he's checked in for Lopez. Torrey Craig comes in for Chris Middleton. And his twin forwards in for Drew Holiday.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
And the 22nd pick in 2015, Bobby Portis with a nice shooting touch.
And at the same time, not afraid to mix it up. Maybe to a fault. But times we've seen him get caught in the heat of the moment. You got to channel that competitive edge and stay strong in the middle.
And the basket is good. Got to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. Great opportunity for a three-point play. And Los Angeles with some changes. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Glenn Robinson the third, and it's Leonard in for Joe Ingles. And it's tied up with that one. Los Angeles is on 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Done with it. Picked up by Portis. It's thrown about as a Kubo. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here is Forbes, defended by George. Nice shot by Portis.
Really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Dunn passes to Leonard. Going inside. Gets it to go for bucket number 8. He's taken just 10 shots.
Good luck stopping that. Kawhi Leonard, huge, strong hands, in total command of the basketball. Go ahead.
Pass to Forbes. Here's Craig. Bucks passing it around. There's Portis. And it's the Clippers with the rebound. Ibaka's got his 5th rebound in this one. And it's done. Penetrating. Kicks it to left. Rebound Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Passes it to Portis. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Shot clock at 5. And here's DiVincenzo from the arc. Clippers have gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since Biombo with the break. Done. Second chance effort. Biombo, no luck. For Milwaukee, they've gone 4-7 to get things started here in the second half. Outside Portis. Here's the lob, and Kumo, but they get it back. Here's Forbes. Knocks down the three ball. Forbes has got the lead up to 3 now for the Bucks.
Now that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one in the strike.
Listen, there are a few guards in this league who can overpower defenders, but Dunn, that rare breed.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Matt Connaughton comes in for Giannis Antetokounmpo, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Dante DiVincenzo. And Augustine kicks to Connaughton. Portis with it. Biombo on him. Connaughton. And it's off from three-point range. Clippers have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements. Don misses.
Unbelievable. Dude, now look at this. What throw-up went wrong there?
Trey passes to Portis. It's Biombo with the rebound.
Boy, a really tough quarter for this guy. Just struggling to make shots right now.
And it's Leonard with the jam.
He sure can get off the floor.
He's one of the best in the business, absolutely. Milwaukee's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Portis, the pass to Craig. To the inside. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Forbes has got 5 points.
A little artistry in the painted area, converting against the size.
Some guys just relish the challenge. Find a way, and he does.
Derek Favors checked in for the Clippers. Devontae Graham comes in for Dunn. And so Graham will bring it up for Los Angeles. Ibaka outside. And George, here we go. And George with the stuff.
Boy, you have got to love the energy Paul George is playing with. Throws the hammer down.
1:53 left in the third. The Bucks trail. And there's the pass to Portis. Here is Forbes. He has 5. And the bucket gets to Green. He tries in. A rebound by the Bucks. And Connaughton has it in the corner. And no good had a chance to take the lead there. LA's gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. On the wing, George. 11 points in the game. Feeds it to about. The shot's good. He has 5.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
104 left to play in the third. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
On D. No good from Connaughton. Clippers leading by 4. And George, here we go. And George with the stuff.
Sometimes as a defender, you just shake your head because Paul George uses his outstanding reach to get through the defense.
Here's Augustine. There's 39 seconds left in the third quarter. Takes it inside, and he hits the bucket. Augustine's got his second bucket tonight.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Now George. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
What a terrific take to the rim. Paul George is just giving it to the defense right now. Tenacious on that drive.
Los Angeles has knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts, and see those numbers read pretty well. A different look for Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is checked in for Torrey Craig. Chris Middleton comes in for Brent Forbes. And it's Drew Holiday in for Augustine. Into the lane. And stolen by Portis. Middleton. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Looking good at this point, but wanting more. And we'll be back with you shortly. And let's take down in this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, making the game easy for your teammates. All about putting them in a position to score. That's pretty.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Here's Holiday. Down with it. Setting the floor for the Clippers. The stars of this team on the wing. George and Leonard. Favors is out there with Devon, and it's Graham into the point guard position. Leonard on the wing, defended by Middleton. And here is DiVincenzo. Pass to Holiday. Driving the lane, and Holiday throws it down.
You want to be an NBA point? Take notes on Holiday running that pick and roll. Sometimes taking it yourself is the best option.
A 5-minute play here in the fourth quarter. Baca finds Favors. 6 to shoot. George against DiVincenzo. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And there's the shot right by him. He gets the shot off in time. Joe Ingles is checked in for Los Angeles. The Bucks shooting so far very efficient. All around, about 55%. Antetokounmpo gets to Middleton. To tie it up. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call at the 5. Serge Ibaka picks one up there.
And you see Middleton on the perimeter a lot, but he's really been trying to add strength to that 6'8" frame so he can mix it up a little more inside.
And the Clippers making a change here. I think it's checked in. That one drops. He ties it up. And G.A. Chris Middleton over his career much improved on the defensive end.
A true two-way player, and I tell you, that 6'11" wingspan helps. Able to use that length to bother shots and disrupt passes.
He gets the leg. On the wing. And it's good off the back rim and in. Alex got his first basket of the night.
Well, primarily known as a scorer, Kawhi Leonard using his playmaking skills to set up his teammates there.
The kick out to Holiday. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. And he uses the glass on the lane. Holiday's got the game tied up here for the Bucks. Here's Graham. Outside, Reddick from downtown. Rebound out of Antetokounmpo.
And I thought that was going to fly. It looks good from here.
There's the dish to Middleton. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone.
They love low passage effort. This guy dunking is easy for him, right? He's close to the rim. Second ball. Come on now.
Driving inside. And it's Graham missing. And the Bucks with possession. The Bucks scoring 10 points for 2 during this run. And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Good, and the assist goes Giannis. And now a 4-point Bucks lead.
And I tell you, Antetokounmpo's evolved into one of the better passing forwards in our league. And when the defense is focused on you that much, you need to be able to find the open man.
Reddick with the bucket.
defenders need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Here's Middleton, and he cuts it down.
Savvy plays from Holiday. Quick thinking helps him get the ball to the wide open man.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Outside, Reddick. Outside, Robinson. Trying to shoot from the angle. Rebounded by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Stolen by Robinson. And now the Clippers on the break. Outside, Reddick. A three. A rebound by the Bucks.
Oh, it was a great effort defensively. Put a hand up in the face of the shooter. It's so important.
Reddick with the rebound.
Boy, that's the kind of look this offense is designed to create. That's just a tough hit.
Oh. Great work there. Get in the shooter's space and then go around that backboard. And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Milwaukee leading by 3. After DiVincenzo. And Middleton, now it's out the key. Antetokounmpo trying to free himself up.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was up.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 and the free throw line.
And one thing you love about Ingles, he hits a lot of contested jumpers.
He does. He'll get to his game by using jab steps, pump fakes, really good ball handler. He's unafraid of the clutch. He'll talk a little smack every now and again. Joe Ingles has carved out quite a career.
For Milwaukee, they've gone 6 of 8 to the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And we heard Shaquille O'Neal bestow his Superman nickname on Giannis Antetokounmpo, and rightfully so. The Greek Freak, the most dominant paint scorer since Shaq himself.
Leonard attacking and finished off by Leonard.
Ooh, a little extra on that one.
He does. He doesn't usually finish soft either. Obviously, he can when necessary, but not that time. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Bucks. They lead by 1. Middleton with the try.
And the urgency of Middleton's drive is terrific. The defense seems powerless to stop it.
Middleton has Leonard. Gets the bucket and the foul. It goes on Chris Middleton. And watching up the Super Bowl get to the rim, he may take your breath away.
Man, he can go around you, through you, or literally jump right over you. Call him the freak, Superman, what have you. But none of it feels like an exaggeration.
For Milwaukee, they've gone 7 of 9 to the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting. Here's Holiday. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Holiday's got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, I thought in the first half this guy was pressing, he was rushing. Now he's settled into the game.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. It goes on Chris Middleton.
One of the key aspects for Kawhi Leonard's scoring per game is his ability to get to the free throw line. This guy lives there.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Milwaukee.
You know, I thought maybe they cool off a bit at halftime, but they continue to bury the jump shot.
Now, the other thing they've done tonight is work the ball into the paint. Plenty of their points coming from close range.
LA's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. To take the lead, Favors at the elbow. Up inside, defended by Middleton. Leonard the pass to Favors. 6 on the shot clock. Here's George. Los Angeles with another miss. Bucks are gone 8 of 11 from the field in the final quarter. Great shooting down the stretch. And stolen by Favors. Ibaka finds Leonard. Oh, and they take the lead. Leonard's got 29.
Such a tough shooter. This guy lives for these kinds of moments and delivers.
Trail by 3. It's the first that moves after 32.
Definitely has the respect of the locker room. Holiday is someone that players enjoy playing with. Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt
Oh
the team.
my
They don't
God.
stop. It's back to a 2-possession game.
And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Deportes. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
How about Paul George puts it on the deck, uses that explosive quickness. This guy is really hard to contain.
Here's DiVincenzo. We've got 1:13 left in the fourth quarter. Opens against Staples. Middleton. It doesn't go for him. Some solid defense from Ibaka. Graham dishes to George. Giving in. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the content. It goes on Chris Middleton.
You see, Paul George just understands how to use his length and his size. He is such a tough number close to the basket.
So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And he cannot convert on the second, but misses. There's 45 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Davis brings the double to the middle. Here's Middleton, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
And if you foul Middleton in the act, you may as well chalk the point up. He's always been a very consistent free throw shooter.
And that one falls for Middleton.
Well, this is why you run your offense through him in important situations. You know he's going to deliver.
29 seconds left in the game. Here's Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
You just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
To me, more often than not, when you attack, good things happen.
And now to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard.
Hey, Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team during the break. He told them, don't look at the scoreboard. It's 0-0. One play at a time. Execute the game plan. That's how we're going to win this game. Now he's trying to get points.
That's David.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 2. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 3-point game.
A bit of heroics at the line right here as he bumps their lead to 3 and makes things a little easier for them defensively.
Call for Bucks. They're down by 3. We've got 22 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And it's do or die time. They need a bucket here to stay alive.
And it's either going to be a three-pointer or score quickly and take the foul.
Now George. And Leonard has it in the corner. Buries the triple.
Yeah, I just had a feeling Kawhi Leonard would respond with a 3 of his own. Beautiful.
Looking to tie it up with a big triple.
Greg, this is all about execution. Can you free an open man from the three-point line? That's what it comes down to.
time here. They're leading by 3. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Is what you say.
Clearly, they're in the driver's seat here, but they still have to get a stop. The main thing is they can't allow that open, quick look from beyond the arc.
First free throw is good, and that brings them within 2. Both free throws good for Drew Holiday. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. Second one is good. He rolls up the line, and it's a 3-point game. They tie. Oh, we had a chance there to send it to overtime, but they come out empty-handed. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And we've got David Aldridge standing by on our sideline with the player of the game. David, it's all yours.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. Well, boy, it was a marquee matchup tonight, so how enjoyable is it to compete and come out on top in a game like that?
It's very fun. Like I said, you're a little kid, you want to play against the best players. You just want to compete on this high level and with everybody watching.
Well, they saw a great one here tonight, man. Congrats on the W. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much.
seasons and the steals numbers for Paul George.
And when you see the decline his steal totals have taken the last few years, you can see that he's not playing that type of gritty, intense D that he's used to. That's a part of his game he needs to bring back.
And with tip-off coming right up, we've got just enough time to hear from the sideline. Allie, what do you got for us?
Kawhi Leonard, as you know, who is a multiple Defensive Player of the Year winner, studies film. But what's interesting is he said more than watching the players, he watches the team's whole scheme, trying to know their tendencies so he can guess. He said, quote, that's what it comes down to, really, making the best guess. Guys, it sounds so simple, but the more educated the guess, the better.
Deceptively so. Thank you, Allie. Boy, Grant, you look at these rosters, a lot of talent in the backcourt.
Ooh, talent indeed. And having a talented backcourt is a recipe for success in the NBA. As the game has evolved through the years, it is paramount to have players who can pass, who can dribble, who can make decisions with the basketball. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of talented players out there who can make some pretty good decisions here in this game.
And score of the ball. We got a chance to have a high-scoring affair in this one. So the opening lineup here for the Clippers. Here we go.
The talented pair of George and Kawhi at the 2 and the 3. Serge Ibaka is out there with Derek Favors. Graham at the 1. And for the Wizards, Beal is the 2, Brown Jr. the 3. Thomas Bryant out there with Thomas Bertans.
Possibly listen to what she said. She says, well, I can do things for racial equity now. He's really not with it. And he could take action, but there's going to be a study, a commission, they're going to study the condition of
Insane goals are called towards a high flyer can create in midair.
We know the facts of the case. We had legal slavery in the country ending in 1861. Kind of strange, actually. First,
Graham against Westbrook.
officially declared slavery
Rebound on the Wizards.
in the American tradition of slavery, meaning not something
Pass to Beal.
given slavery as a tradition of time for
It's the three-pointer.
I'll tell you what, I absolutely love watching Beal go to work. He makes good decisions at that time. No hesitation off the
in
bench.
the United States.
Now here's George.
And the slave
His last outing we saw him score 22. Leonard finds George.
It's very strange. Obviously, slavery becomes more racialized.
The
system later
teardrop.
on, but the
Three
first
is up.
officially declared slave
Shot won't fall. Now the Wizards take it the other way.
was a black
Coming off the loss against Miami.
and it raises all
It's always hard to get a win on the road, especially when you show zero energy on the defensive end.
It looked like there were communication breakdowns all night. Deadly, especially when you're on the road.
Russell Westbrook. Not the prototypical pure point guard by a long shot. All right, so how do you evaluate him, Georgia?
BA,
systemic racism exists, probably they should get reparations, right?
he is a
Because, yeah, sure, their ancestors were not slaves, but, you know, they lived in the system of constantly mistreated, so I guess they should get reparations. Should the descendants of Anthony Johnson, the first officially declared slave owner in America, should they get reparations? I don't know. I mean, they were black, has to be black. Would they have to pay reparations to the descendants of
Shoots over George. Beal's shot is good. Beal's got 5 points.
You want to get him going as soon as possible. Great way for him to start this game.
And we know once he gets in the rhythm, he's a really tough guy to stop.
So explosive with the dunk. Kawhi Leonard gets up quick to slam it down.
Washington has gone 1 for 3 from outside so far.
The emergency foul. Sure, you can get stuff.
That's the first foul of the game. Time call, the Clippers.
Kawhi Leonard, a two-time Defensive Player of the Year, has all the tools, and we know he's dedicated on that end. Does an excellent job of scouting out his opponents and taking away their first and second option. And you look and see, they try to go away from Kawhi when he's on that end.
Within 15 minutes, you just cover it up. Yes, it's ready. Precious is delicious. Best of all, though, it's going to give you this money. If you asked for a few months, past a year or so, it's not showing you how important it is to be prepared. I know more well. I actually currently snowed in Tennessee. Where's my work? Right now, my listeners can get 10% off at ReadyWise.com when entering Knowles10 at checkout, or you can call 855-453-2945. They have a 30-day net pressure's escrow policy. There's no risk in taking the initiative to get your event prepared today. Visit ReadyWise, READYWISE.com, or Knowles10 to get 10% off. Now, Now, because facilities are a very, very important in states, I'm serious about historical statements. I need to take a quick break and calculate just what reparations are made per year. We'll be right back. Michael Moses.
And as we continue through January, here are the latest power rankings. You look at the Pelicans, they're building some momentum right now and aiming for a spot in the top 5.
You know, for the Clippers, they've come out the gate strong, and they have a roster that continues to improve. There's lots of optimism around this club.
Traffic oxygen and James at 90K ABC. Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. The exam alone is worth $50. That's not just a better deal. It's America's best. Book your exam online today.
In certain states, eye exams are provided by independent optometrists or ophthalmologists. See store for details.
Mortgage rates are at historic lows, so if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital is offering a low 15-year fixed rate at 1.75 with a 1.98% APR. Incredible! Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 15-year fixed rate is 1.75 with a 1.98% APR. Incredible! These are historically low rates you may never see again. So refinance it and forget it. That's a 15-year fixed at 1.75 with a 1.98% APR. Call the experts at Network Capital Funding right now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT. Is it home run? Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Consumer Protection and Finance Lenders Law. Number 6033787. An equal opportunity lender. Loan amount 500,000 and greater. 1.45 discount points apply. Rates subject to change. And credit approval. Call 800-500-1-HIT for more information. Morning, Province! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the optimal course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone?
Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Investors like appreciation with high cash flow. The Federal Reserve is boosting real estate markets now with super low long-term interest rates. And where we build, it's boom. Founded in 2006 with a 15-year track record, NRIA gives you steady cash flow backed by $1.2 billion of new construction development. NRIA is accepting investors for our Class A real estate fund. You're seeing reliable 10% return electronic payments, passive tax-deferred income with bonuses to 21% on prime residential buildings. You're inflation protected with large rental buildings and diversified in 18 prime real estate developments, avoiding stock market risk. Call us now and do the math on our prime developments. See for yourself. NRIA. Come do the math. It works. Just call 201-210-2727. That's 201-210-2727. And all of our selling securities only made by our private placement brand. As performance is not guaranteed future results. Returns are annual. Nationalist Real Estate Development Firm. See us at NRIA.com. You're right there. We gotta redo the whole thing.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. Like at Phil's Machine Shop. To keep carving out more revenue, he needs to get started hiring right away. Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Project Shine and volunteer
It is a real thing indeed.
your time ever and love as you volunteer in the community.
But I still hit the ball. Started off
Project Shine.
paying out first 20 games, averaging 20 plus a game. Then by mid to late December, my legs got heavy, I was fatigued and tired. But the reality is the NBA season is 82 games. And in college, you play about 30 games. Well, play those 30 games in the league in the first 6 to 8 weeks. So, yes, the rookie wall is real.
One of the most famous men in our nation's history. A great man, long review.
Leonard outside.
There's no review that can be done. this whole shit light to Abraham Lincoln. This is a political.
And they keep capturing the lead.
You want to take down the Lincoln statues or not? You want a country that admires it's very Abraham Lincoln or a country that reviles Abraham Lincoln and all of it.
Kind of game.
By the way, if you're going to get rid of Abraham Lincoln, a man who freed slaves on the basis of racism or something, then you're going to get rid of
He got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
Squishy moderates are going to get a challenge.
He disagrees with the foul. He does not hesitate to ask for a second look.
Not just going
Preheat
after.
a game. Every call
I
matters.
don't.
People were worried that
Thomas
this was
Jefferson,
slowing
not just
action
going
down.
after Andrew
There's
Jackson,
so many
going
close
after
calls in
Washington,
every game. The NBA was smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got their back. If they're adamant that the call is wrong, he'll back it up and make the ref take another look. And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still being money from the strike. He does a great job night in and night out.
just seems.
Graham goes in.
Now this,
A timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way in.
Did you see that communication? It was terrific.
Offensively,
they used the big play to set up easy looks.
not just to white people and Asian people, for instance, or disadvantaged, the legal
For Washington, they got 5 of 11 shots to
but they're
go.
also offensive to black people and Hispanic people for advantage by affirmative.
His favors.
Affirmative action
Varies his
black
first look.
people and Hispanic
Looks like
people
we're starting to see a
can't
pattern
get
here.
special
Not
blame.
afraid to get in the paint and get wet.
Because that's the only way they can get into the schools, right?
151
That's
left
what
to
it
play
says.
first.
That's the only effective. So it's
Deal
only
with it.
good possible.
Coming off a 22-point game
Don't you
against
find that a
Miami.
little bit
And with
offensive?
all the attention he drew offensively, he did a great job of just keeping to the open man. I'll tell you what, I think he thought that was going in. I sure did.
Even though I had him in
Graham
great
for
for
three.
loss,
Rebound by the Wizards. Last time they came together was in Los Angeles, where they fell to the Clippers.
a lot of people
In this league, you have to stay active at both ends of the floor. I thought their lackluster defense was the difference in the game. You know, sometimes great skill can overcome a lack of intensity, but it's very rare.
Here's Leonard. Shot no good. And the Wizards going the other way now. Out to the right wing. For three, Westbrook. It's rebounded by Ibaka. Clippers have got 8 of 16 attempts to fall.
For that vaccination at the Walgreens or at the particular store.
You know, man, come on, man. Black people and Hispanic people, like my good buddy Warren thought, they can't use the internet. They don't know, man. They don't know how to use the internet. This is the latest in long series of racial comments that Joe Biden has made.
Basket by Westbrook.
He said that
Westbrook's got 10
the
points.
smartest white kids.
Just owning the painted area.
I
If
guess
it's working,
poor
no
and
need
black
to
is
change.
synonymous, rich and white are synonymous.
Here's Leonard.
Joe Biden. I guess for a
Call on the way up.
that's
So
true
he'll
as
take
well.
2 from the
Wasn't it
pistol
Joe
line.
Biden who said Barack Obama was
Dribble drive, yet another two in
that's
Leonard's
a fairy tale,
extensive
man. Come
arsenal.
on, man.
Earns
Race
him
is
a
a lot
trip
of
to the line.
And Leonard drops them both.
and people knock him for it, but it doesn't matter. He's not going to pay any political price. And I think
And
conservatives
we've got
are
28 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Westbrook
for a long
outside.
time. They say we all should
And he lobs it up.
And if the defense leaves the man open, Westbrook will find him. Plus his floor awareness helps him rack up the assists.
Persuaded by my logic, they don't care. They don't care. It's fine to acknowledge that they should have all the facts and forms, but the left doesn't care because they know that racial discrimination is
Easy chance from mid-range. Wouldn't be surprised to see them on that play again.
No good on the last second attempt there.
That's good defense by Eagles. His smooth focus at that end. Using his length, having presence on the ball, and off the ball. It's good to see.
And that concludes a high-scoring first quarter. We're all tied up. And we'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter.
And then, left wingers from the 1960s
And we chatted with Bradley Beal recently.
Yourself on the beam.
Yeah, protecting your serve. That's usually where it starts.
Yeah, it's just a matter of pride. Making your opponent feel
Hispanic and
uncomfortable.
Latino.
two advantages that he
The idea that
in your own house.
Hispanic people sort of just one thing, that people in Spain,
And close
and
game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out ahead of the second quarter. All right, let's quickly break down the game and what we've seen so far from the Wizards, guys.
Well, they've really been racking up three-pointers in bunches. They've been so impressive to watch.
And that's their strategy. Try to hold a well. Tries to put you in a hole. You have to dig yourself out of.
They tried to do it under the Obama administration. Middle Eastern people, Middle Eastern people in Africa, they tried to create a category called MENA. That didn't really catch on. And it shows you how farcical the whole thing is. Because historically in the United States, the people from the Middle East and North Africa have been categorized as white. Linda Sarsour, who was one of the activists behind the MENA category, famously said that the reason she wears a hijab is because without a hijab, she's just another boring white lady in New York City. It shows you that you're trying to create a new identity. If you're categorized as a white person, and you try to recategorize yourself as an allegedly aggrieved minority, it probably shows you that there's not so much privilege in being identified as a white person. But actually, there's social currency in being able to claim victim. There's a lot of power.
We're into the new year. How about
On the basis of good faith. Really. All right, enough grievance. I want politics of loyalty and connection and obligation. Who knows if we're going to do that anytime soon. Let's take a quick break.
Unfortunately, I don't see them as being a team that's going to turn any big corners anytime soon. I think what we've seen from them in the early part of the season is what we're going to keep seeing.
on the floor for the Clippers? On the wings, it's George and Kawhi. There's Favors out there with Serge Ibaka. That's Graham.
KABC News at 6:30. I'm Sharon
Leonard for three. Yes, and it's George picking up the assist.
Counties that now meet the standard and can resume competitions as soon as next Friday. They're virtually all in Northern California and include three of the largest in the San Francisco Bay Area, as well as many of the state's most rural counties. Another 16 counties, including LA, San Diego, Orange, and Fresno, will likely meet the governor's standard within a few weeks. And a truck driver is in the hospital, and today's fatal plane crash is under investigation.
A single-engine plane crashed in a cargo container yard at the Port of Los Angeles, killing the pilot and seriously injuring a man on the ground. The Piper PA-32 struck a tractor-trailer on its way down. Bystanders pulled the pilot from the wreckage and provided CPR under the direction of 911 dispatchers until paramedics arrived. The pilot died at the scene. The surviving patient was pulled from the big rig and taken to a hospital. Kevin Trent, KABC News.
The markets closed mixed. The Dow closed up a point, Nasdaq went up by 6, and the S&P 500 dropped 7. Fever is the leading sign of COVID-19. Use an accurate thermometer for twice daily checks. Protect your loved ones with the Espn temporal scanner. It takes an accurate reading in seconds and is the only home thermometer recommended by hospitals, physicians, and clinics. Stay safe with Exergen. News sponsored by the Exergen temporal scanner. KABC SoCal weather. Mostly clear skies this evening with lows around 50. Some areas of clouds and patchy fog in the morning. Otherwise sunny later with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s for most areas. Currently it's 61 degrees in Newport Beach, 61 in Culver City, and it's 69 degrees in New Paltz. It's the Power Drive home after John Phillips and Ben Shapiro at 3. Then Dan Bongino moves up to 5. Ben Shapiro and Dan Bongino on your drive home on 790 KABC. Traffic coming up next.
Alexa can help with that. Plug in the temperature. She can help with that too. Want to get it right? Just say, Alexa, enable the KABC AM skill.
Here's
That's George.
KABC dependable traffic right now. 710 freeway southbound ECH in Long Beach and exit 1 lane to 107 freeway. Traffic extra slow bumper conditions from about the 405 freeway. Also, 14 freeway northbound at Hall Avenue is that overrated stalled with the carpool lane blocked. Traffic is solid jam from the 5. Also in El Monte, 10 freeway westbound at Santa Anita Avenue, an accident earlier that's been blocking the carpool lane for the time. Traffic on the inbound side of Santa Anita Street is about 30 road. 118 eastbound near Reseda is still clear. That's dependable traffic. I'm Richard Turnage, AM 790 KABC.
Is the government or your ex threatening your parental rights? Has your child been unjustly removed from their good University. Vincent Davis, a journey of has been keeping families together for over 30 years, and he's here to help you on the How to Fight CBS and Win Show, Saturday nights at 8 on 790 KABC.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you. Complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real life talk. By language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learn. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin. Like at Phil's Machine Shop. To keep carving out more revenue, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
We're Los Angeles Coast to Talk Radio 790 KABC.
I mean, a great look by Kawhi, aware of what the defense is trying to do, understands the spacing. Washington has gotten 5 of 11 threes to drop so far in this game.
Welcome back to the Michael Knowles Show. I'm Michael Knowles.
Back to Beal.
And I want to point your attention to a very specific way that people are pushing back against the left.
They find a way to get great
The
position
left has
inside.
foisted on us a new system, a new understanding of ourselves politically, whereby grievance is perceived and racial and sexual identity is inherently beyond national identity, religious identity, beyond local identity, race and sex. That's what they're pushing. And if you transgress the new system, you get in a lot of trouble. Former Massachusetts big school football coach is now suing a Dedham public school district. Why? Because he was fired. Why was he fired? Because he disagreed privately with the radical political racial
Consistency of Beal's scoring
his two daughters
been
were being
terrific
taught
to force
a
his
curriculum
teammates
premised on
working
Black
hard
Lives Matter.
to
Black Lives
facilitate
Matter is its way as a racial organization, but it's also very radical ideologically. It's an explicitly Marxist movement, according to it seeks, among other things, according to its website, to dismantle the Western prescribed nuclear
Westbrook.
radical stuff. This high school
Finishes
coach
are
and
always extra special when they come.
said, I don't really think this belongs in social studies. You can learn about it maybe as a historical phenomenon, but you can't push this because then you're not teaching students history. You're not teaching them philosophy. You're pushing this very narrow ideological spectrum. It's dehumanizing all of the others. And by the way, if you're pushing Marxism, then you are undercutting our traditional American philosophy. If you want to push this highly racialized vision of politics, you're undercutting the deracialized politics that we have embraced. Certainly, in recent years. You can only get one or the other. I don't think you should be doing this. He got fired for it. I think he should sue. I think you have to expose the system for what it is, and you have the wherewithal to put the system up to its record. Let me bring that down to earth, because that sounds very abstract. In the United Kingdom, so not the United States, a white civil servant is sued for racial and sexual discrimination. This is in London. White male civil servant is filing a lawsuit that has a salary of £134,000 per year. It's a very high
high salary. This guy's making a lot of money.
Shooting really
But he
well
also
in
has
this matchup. 62%
$7,900
from the floor.
living allowance. Wow, man, this guy, how do I get that
Lopez
sense?
passes to Beal.
But he's going to sue because he learned that a black
Los Angeles has gone 2 of 6 from
was
distance here in the
hired
second
and makes
quarter.
significantly more money, an extra £50,000 a year, it seems. She had accepted a lower offer, but she was just automatically given a higher offer because the civil service was afraid that she needed to pay less than $7,000. So it's ordinary here in the United States that people who are not white, not men, make much less money than and this just isn't when you factor in education, experience, hours of work, those pay gaps disappear. In the civil service, though, you actually can't compare these things. And so shocking, upends ideology for being fed. The white guys being paid less than the black lady. Yeah, absolutely should. I do not think that we ought to have a politics that's rooted primarily around race, primarily around sex. But that's what the left is pushing. And if the left, that is the dominant regime. And that dread, awful, individually possibly imagine a straight white man, now what gender ideology, I guess we're going to have to say that the straight white male opposed these men has to push back against injustice. More on that in a minute. But first, so much is going on at our stores these days. It's been quite a while now. We've been getting food deliveries. You got the guy dropping off pizza now, especially for me. We've got people dropping off baby clothes. You've got in-laws coming to see you. Maybe you want to let some of these people in. Maybe some people you don't know. Well, you can know who is in the outside before opening with Ring video doorbell will allow you to see and speak to whoever's outside your door. Whether you're in the house, maybe you're in the office, maybe you're on a beach somewhere, you can get Ring security cameras, you can go to Ring security, you can Ring laws, power, very important security system being easily installed. So right now, you get a special offer for Ring. Get at ring.com/Skinner, WLES. Comes with Ring's video doorbell free and charge. Perfect way to upgrade your front story of the Ring experience. It also makes a great housewarming gift, which I found. Not just because it's a terrific product, but also because it's not very expensive. It looks very fancy, but you don't have to shell out a lot of money. Go to ring.com/Knowles. Ring.com/Knowles. All right, so the system broadly rife with injustice, and of course, we need to push back against that injustice. I think a lot of people would not want to do this. Well, first of all, this guy here is making a ton of money, so he's really got nothing to complain about. And I think a lot of white guys don't want to be accused of being racist. Okay, is other people being paid more because they're race and sex? Okay, it's fine now, whatever. It's all okay. It isn't. It's wrong for racism is a problem for everybody. Injustice for anybody is injustice for everybody. Well, there you go. Well, that's true. You've got an ecosystem. It is your obligation to push back against that sort of thing. It is true. Now, Joe Biden is banning this playing. He's done this for a lot of his career. Remember when he said that Mitt Romney wanted to lock people back in chains back in 2012? That's bad stuff. He's always something. But it's unclear how much longer Joe Biden is going to be around. The White House is already pushing out that Kamala Harris is taking Kamala tweeted. She said, today I spoke with President France. We discussed COVID-19, climate change, supporting democracy, and all of the regional challenges. President
Washington is going 7-14 from the perimeter in this one.
She's taking other phone calls with other dignitaries. This is unusual for a vice president, but it's because of Tracy Jones there. The source slips. As we recall, he's not the guy who was here 5 years ago. So as I often say, I'm a conservative optimist in the sense that a conservative pessimist says things can't get worse. I think things can get a lot worse. They're obviously improving. Kamala Harris was an update on top politicians. Bob Dole, 97 years old, was recently diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Very sad. I really like Bob Dole, and it's really sad he was diagnosed that way. And he put out a statement. He said, my first treatment will begin on Monday. You've got to give this guy credit.
course, we see
got to give Bob Dole credit. I've always admired him, not only because I felt he was the most conservative rocker Republican. This guy, he's a fighter, man. This guy is a war hero, total fighter. 97-year-old thing, undergo treatment starting on Monday. More power to him. He's absolutely in our prayers. Bob Dole is the first presidential candidate. As a Michael, over 6 years old, Bob Dole ran in 96. That's true. I paid some attention, as much as any 6-year-old would pay attention to the news. I was paying attention to it. All I know about the race is Bob Dole was a war hero, and Dole was a rap dodger. I liked Dole, and I didn't like Clinton. My mother was Bill Clinton. She voted for Republicans a lot of years. Politics were kind of interesting. And I begged her to vote for Dole. She let me go voting with her, because I did actually a lot of it. And she let me vote. I'm sure the FBI is investigating me. No, wait, in any case, no wishes to Bob Dole. Love that guy is a fighter. He also is the only voting GOP nominee who showed up to the convention in 2016. You know, the Bushes boycott 2016, which I felt was very ugly and very unseemly. I understand why they did it, but it was too bad. I always give Bob Dole a lot of credit, but he actually kind of stuck it out with Trump. So, in any case, the best wishes to Bob Dole. We'll see, though. We've got a lot of change to the whole generation of politicians that's passing on either into the next life or passing on power and political importance. And what is coming up? I can't say I'm too hopeful for Joe Biden to be able to nominate the new West Country if the system that had a lot of problems, more or less just spoke to equality, rule of law, justice. That's passing out. We've got this new politically correct radical system of racial and sexual agreements coming out. That is not creating what we've got to stand up against that sort of thing. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. I don't care how unpopular it is. I don't care how vulnerable it is. We've got to stand up for justice. More on that in a minute. But first, there is a text message stand right now. That's what I need to give away a free year of Netflix. Oh man, I love free stuff. Well, if you see the text message like this, do not respond or click the link. This is a scam trying to get you to log into the fake website to steal your personal information and your credit card number. It is very important to understand how cybercrime and identity are affecting our lives. Every day we put our information at risk on the internet. In an instant, the cybercriminal could harm what's yours, your finances, your credit, your reputation. Good thing there is LifeLock. LifeLock helps detect a wide range of identity threats like your social security number for sale on the dark web. If they detect your information is potentially compromised, they will send you an alert. And no one can prevent full identity theft or monitor all transactions of all businesses. But you can keep what's yours with LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. I know you think, oh man, I don't need protection. No one's ever my daddy. Yes, they are. Join now. Save 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com/Knowles. That is LifeLock.com/Knowles. Get it in the LAS for 25%. All right, the feds are knocking down my door. They're very curious about my interference in the 1996 presidential election. Got to take a quick break to talk to them. I'm Michael Knowles. This is the Michael Knowles Show. We'll be right back.
Looking good since the break. Here's Meadow.
ABC dependable traffic right now. 101 freeway south on your Allegheny Street downtown. A stolen car. Middle of freeway lanes for congestion. Avoid traffic is extremely tough on the southbound side of 101. Hollywood Boulevard all the way downtown. In Long Beach, 710 freeway southbound at PCH crashed. Left lanes blocked at last head. 14 northbound at New Fall Avenue was stalled. And Carton Lane traffic is solid jam there from the 5. This report sponsored by the Exergen Temporal Scanner. That's dependable traffic. I'm Richard Turner in JM 790 KABC.
These may be uncertain times, but what is certain is that every family needs a reliable thermometer. Protect your family with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, physicians, and clinics. Stay safe with Exergen.
These days, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a car, truck, or SUV made from 1999 or higher, you could stop paying for car repair. That's right, you might not have to pay a penny to have it repaired. Just call 800-998-0633 now to see if you qualify. You must have an automobile made from 1999 or higher, and all repairs for your engine, transmission, and much more can become a thing of the past. Call 800-998-0633 today and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. That's right, total protection for your car and no more repair bills. Plus, call 800-998-0633 right now and get free roadside assistance, free towing, free car rental, and free oil changes. Call 800-998-0633 right now to see if your car qualifies. That's 800-998-0633. Never pay for car repairs again. Just call 800-998-0633. 800-998-0633.
Good morning, Providence! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. A student observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the outdoors today, I'll propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone?
Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
871 ABC.
Basketball, what it is today, gave us the foundation of this long-term success. Also, of course,
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
TV newspapers, social media, trust is hard to find. Not impossible. According to MRI Simmons research, radio, yes, radio, like what you get on KBC, is the most trusted platform. And we don't take that trust for granted. Day, night, weekends, holidays, whenever and wherever news breaks. Trust us to give you the facts you need to get it right. AM 730 KBC. Stand by.
Right over to double team. Here's Smith. No good. Back to Ray. Clippers have gone 6 of 13 to open up this second half. There's the drive. They get it back.
Welcome back to the Michael Knowles Show.
And a whistle.
Knowles, and
So
now
he's
I
got 2 shots coming up.
First question from Julie. Hey,
Hey,
Michael, I was wondering, if I am a person who identifies as a female, does that give my mom the right to kill me? I legally it does. It does. It hasn't been tried in court yet, but legally it does give people that right. I'm sure some parents of teenagers might be thinking about that right now. Of course, I mean, you actually raise a great point here, which is, I think that identity is objective.
And the Wizards shooting has been
I think
excellent in the
that
third quarter.
we are individuals. We have individual souls. Our souls have a relation to our bodies. We have a purpose here, which is to know God and enjoy Him forever. God knows us, endows us with rational faculties to perceive the objective world. It can be objectively stated that I am a man. You can see some evidence of this. Adam's apple and other things. That's the gift you right now. It's been the joke. So I think that's all true. Nonetheless, takes this sort of subjective view to identity, where you see this in the racial question, right? You say, well, I identify, I might be biracial, but I identify with this racial race. They take obviously the gender, I am the sex, it's the sex, it's sex. But they take it to human life. Well, you'll see everyone over media celebrate the royal baby, right? When if a celebrity has a miscarriage,
30 seconds left
very
in the
famously
third quarter here.
miscarriage in short
Here
her
are
name,
the Wizards now
and it was
with the ball.
a big pause in the liberal media. But of course, if the celebrity did not recognize the baby as being a baby, then it would be a problem at all. Right? If you do not recognize the fetus as a human being, then it's fine. It's actually celebrated as a good thing to kill them. So you can take this crazy identity politics to its extreme and say, well, all right, I identify as whatever I identify as my neighbor's dog. Outside.
They say it was last touched by Reddick. They're fortunate that the defender
Next
couldn't
question from
control
Mario.
it.
Hey, Michael, I'm 29 years old. I'm in California. I'm conservative in Canada. I have a question about relationships and marriage. I've been with my girlfriend for about a year and a half. She's great. She's everything that a guy like me could possibly want, which makes me very confused because for about a year now, I can't shake the feeling that she's not the one. My question is, should I cast my doubts aside and ask her to marry me, or should I listen like God and pursue? Is this
And it's time to bring up the state pharmacist to the game.
think about your own happiness situations. Thanks. Mario, I'm going to give
Take a look at the precision
very
on this
difficult
team.
advice. It's not going to be very easy advice, but
This is why you preach
I'm not going to say
teamwork.
do
Some of
this
the
or do this,
most
but I hope
spectacular
that this will
plays are
clarify your
the
situation.
ones where guys are
Advice
beating off
that I
one another.
rarely hear from superstars. Sometimes I hear people say,
locked in a very close contest. This fourth quarter promises to be a good one. On the floor for the Clippers.
sometimes I hear people say, it doesn't really matter if they're married to objective things, do certain things you find, share values. I am married. Not everyone gets to marry the one I get to marry. Sometimes I kid you not, I wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat because I have a nightmare about marrying some ex-girlfriends and how terrible my life would be if I had not married sweet, lovely, supportive, 100% one. We've known each other since we were 10 years old, and I basically always do it. I was a little confused, perhaps at some time, as one is when one is a teenager. I speak from experience. It's absolutely
good vision there. Finds the open man.
that said,
Los Angeles is going 7 for 17 in three-point range so far in this matchup. Done with it.
You hear happening young people say, 50 years down the road, they say, I love my wife.
Dunn's got 4 points now in the
50
quarter.
years ago.
And they keep on
The reason for
figuring out
that is you
ways
grow
to
together,
the rock
where you grow
inside.
apart, and you grow in this unit. You become one flesh, and that actually does something.
The Wizards
So
on offense.
marriage does
It's a three-point
transform.
game.
And two people, maybe, obviously arranged marriage was number one for most societies. People who didn't know each other very well, they didn't have this kind of romantic love.
Screen right there.
The defender, you can do marriage right. We'll grow together. We'll not object to sacrifice. Grow together. They will end up. I think it was Benjamin Disraeli's wife, famous British prime minister. She said, I know that Disney killed me for my money, but I think if he had to do it again, he would marry me for love. That's a profound statement. So you have to ascertain.
When you look at the MVP race each year, most of the candidates were drafted in the top 5. But somehow,
Maybe you have some vision of someone else, and maybe that's an infatuation. It's not really love. Well, okay, you don't want to let that infatuation, flighty idea carry you away. But
this is when you're interior.
Oh yeah, she checks the boxes, but there's no spark. I will tell you,
into the fourth here.
as a passionate person of Latin descent from the Isles of Sicily, it is good to have a little bit of passion. It's really good. I mean, it's often when people write in asking me for a relationship, should I date this girl? I say, I don't know, is she hot? I don't know, do you find her attractive? I mean, come on, man. You can't be too clinical about her. You shouldn't only pursue virtue, shared values, shared perspective. Some way that we can grow together. I need you to balance those two. The passionate part is important. Always have and serious. You don't let life's fancy carry you away so that you run off with someone else. It's really passionate for the real. Both matter in your marriage, and you're going to have to.
For that matchup with the Pistons,
As Paul thinks,
hard pressed to find a more even
keep
carry
both
in
of
the
those
league.
in mind.
That one
Not
promises
allow your
to be a
passions to
really closely thought
but not
out.
be so
Lopez, he's checking for Washington.
marriage. I need more details to give you a yes or no. I hope that helps. Okay, look. Hey, Michael, my wife recently told me I'm going to be a dad. Oh, great. Congratulations. I'm ecstatic about having children. First, also scared out of my mind. How did you react to your dad? What did you know now that you wish you could know back then? I reacted very happily, but I wasn't surprised because, as some of you know, I'm Catholic. I've mentioned that every so often. I'm practicing. I keep on practicing until I get it right. And yet I didn't have a child for years of my marriage. The reason for that is it just didn't happen right. So we're kind of, working on it. I won't be too graphic about it. It's trying is not the worst thing in the world, I think, for a young couple. But when it finally did happen, I thought, oh, good, finally, goodness gracious, that's great. And, I was a little worried about health of the baby, health of the wife. Luckily, thank God, both are doing great. What do I wish I knew? I wish I knew how hard it is on the mother. I'm not saying this to suck up to the mothers. I just do realize that, especially if you're nursing, that the woman basically just never gets to sleep. And I'm a modern man, so I'm not exactly sitting up biologically every day. Baby, but also I'm more I try to get more sleep going to work. My wife is a little more nurturing. I'm going to take care of the baby. So I didn't realize how hard it is. And then if you C-sections. Really? So I would have tried to prepare a little more, maybe get some family members in, maybe get a nanny or something. I would have planned that out for the first few weeks at least. But wonderful, congratulations. Hope you have as much fun as I have. From Anthony, dear Michael, do you think it would be useful to start talking about liberals and leftists media institutions as having implicit biases against conservatives and conservative viewpoints? Thanks for all you do. Well, the problem with that is the biases are not implicit, they're explicit. They're telling you that all the time when someone is doing something explicitly, probably doesn't help the cause of attention. Also, I just think the idea of implicit biases that should guide our politics is just very silly and stupid. It's a left-wing idea. And I don't think you really benefit from playing into this language. I think the way the left transforms culture is through language. Really, I just wrote a book about this. It studies what has to be harder for him to score. Deny the ball, he failed to fix it. That book is a little speechless, by the way. Controlling words, so I just don't think we should play into the language. I think we should use our own language. Good, sturdy traditional language, which is most provocative, and force them to use our language. Right now, they force us to use their language, which is provocative, and I don't think we should do that. I don't think we should use their language. I don't think we should actually compel them to use our work. That's our show.
Westbrook's got 15 points in just the second half. Just an elite decision.
The agenda is continuing. Our voice, KABC, Los Angeles Orange County.
KABC News at 7 o'clock. I'm Sharon Reardon. Good evening. The House Committee has unveiled the massive coronavirus relief package worth nearly $2 million. The House Budget Committee is slated to look at the 591-page bill Monday, and it could be approved by the full House as soon as next week. After nearly a year of sitting on the sidelines, parents and advocates for student athletes are excited about a new guidance allowing for the return for youth sports. Paul Moore is a parent and coach of over 30 years who says any forward movement is progress, but he says there's still a ways to go.
You know, with it, I don't think the indoor sports are going to happen. And I understand that. I thought it was really good news, but the people I saw on the Let Us Play movement that he's going to be involved, you know, with helping get the tennis young football players.
Advocates in the Let Them Play movement, parents and coaches are still pushing hard, especially for indoor sports, but for now, they're taking the latest update as a win. Governor Newsom has signed a law requiring that mail-in ballots be sent to every registered voter in California this year. Jack Cronin explains.
Expanding the laws that ballots to every voter in the November election last year, the governor's now signed SB 29, extending that through December 31st of this year. Take effect immediately under an emergency statute. It would cover special elections like the one in San Diego 79 and the 7th District in April and June. A seat vacated by new Secretary of State Shirley Weber. It would also cover the potential recall election against Governor Newsom this year. Local costs would be covered by the state, and just like in November, counties will still have in-person voting options in addition to the mail-in ballots.
And USC is planning for a full return to campus life in the fall semester.
The return to campus will include in-person classes and residential life. USC President Carol Holmes emailed students saying they're planning for protective measures such as a campus vaccination operation, testing program, and physical distancing measures. She adds that classroom and outdoor facility reconfigurations are already underway. Kevin Tripp, ABC News.
The market's closed mix. There's nothing that'll scare your hot date away faster than bad breath. Luckily, Smart Mouth mouthwash has got your back for 24 full hours with 2 rinses a day. Smart Mouth is available anywhere mouthwash is sold, so pick up a bottle today or visit smartmouth.com to learn more. News sponsored by Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. KABC SoCal weather is clear tonight with lows around 50. Areas of clouds and patchy fog in the morning. Sunny later with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s. Currently it's 62 degrees in Yorba Linda, 57 degrees in Manhattan Beach. The new KABC.com has stories that we want to share, curated for you, fair and honest. Check it out, KABC.com. Now let's get a check on your SoCal traffic.
From East LA to West LA. Get it right. ASN and KABC.
Once he makes his way to the rim,
KABC dependable traffic right now in Diamond Bar. Get word of stalls frequent eastbound at Grand Avenue. Arguably lunch on the possible snowing there. Looks like traffic really starting to slow. In El Monte, 10 freeway westbound to Santa Anita Avenue, earlier crash. Right lane continues to be blocked at the last check. North Hollywood, 170 freeway, northbound before Sherman Way, an accident. Right lane shut down there, traffic through Brooklyn Free Boulevard. 5 freeway southbound at Garden Eagle, earlier stalled now. That's dependable traffic. I'm Richard Turnage, AM 790 KABC.
This show is sponsored by the official Recall Committee California Patriot Coalition. Recall Governors in 1424-018. Committee major funding from others include Rescue California, Recall Campus, Prop 39 LLC, DJB Branch. This is your 5-star spot for a smorgasbord of information from RecallGavin2020.com. In a tasty, non-caloric, gluten-free bite, it's Friday night at the French Laundry with Chef Lady Mike Natter and head cashier Randy Economy.
Well, good evening, California. Welcome to the virtual kitchen where the cuisine is of East California politics. The main entree is the recall of Gavin Newsom, which is cooking quite hot today. I'm accompanied by our VP, apparently our cashier is missing, but we also know where we've got back and forth. I've got a few little complaints about her cooking, so I brought in some backup and we're able to deliver meals to fellow politicians up and down the state. So we brought in some help. Tonight we're delighted to have in studio Roxanne Hodge. Roxanne has an amazing history, an amazing past, but more importantly, she's a true patriot who's helping us out. Get in a few words while you can, Roxanne.
Well, Roxanne Hogue is happy to be here. I love that Mike is a great restaurateur, but can't get his guest name right. It's okay. Just don't call me late for dinner at the French Laundry. My name's Roxanne. I answer to that, and that's fine. I'm a mom here in the San Bernardino Valley of Los Angeles.
We started play defense and execute on the offensive end, and we finally got a knockdown stop. Thanks, Alex. Great interview once again. And that was good.
Up and down the state, we're going to have some numbers here in a second, but I have been on the road all day, and the meals on wheels, so to speak, is we're traveling up and down the state, and my job today is to serve it up hot, and I'm bringing signed petitions down to Southern California. I have literally 100,000 with them in my truck as we speak, and they're being delivered out to the field where they can be submitted to the registrar's office. And we're going to go over those numbers in just a little while. And I see that Randy is joining us. Well, it's time the cashier showed up. Who the heck is going to check everybody out? Randy, how you doing tonight?
You know what? I was out buying Costco chicken and birthday cakes. Because it's your birthday, Mike.
Well, it was my birthday, Randy, but thanks for bringing that up.
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much.
It's my birthday tomorrow.
That's right. It is Randy's birthday tomorrow, and he'll be celebrating with his own show on KABC. You know, it's interesting, everybody. What a fantastic or interesting week it's been. And we're going to talk a little bit here in a few minutes, in fact, in the next segment, on Gavin's health. And you might wonder why we're concerned about Gavin's health. Anybody here wonder? Let me tell you why. Because Gavin apparently is getting really good coverage from Blue Shield and United Health. The way he awards contracts. For all of you out there that are continuously looking for more reasons where you want to leave find the sounds, keep